Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today I have borrowed this 2021 Land Rover Range Rover Westminster HSE P400. Try saying that 5 times fast and make a video out of it and share the link with me. I borrowed this model from my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport. And I actually did do a video with this model recently, but it was just a walk around interior and exterior tour with a little music laid over the top. But I had a request to do a full review. So we're going to walk around, take a look at the exterior features, of course the interior features as well, and do a test drive. And one of the advantages to being here at Southern Automation Incorporated, where I'm able to use the interior of the warehouse, is that I can turn on all of the exterior lighting and let you see what that looks like from a bit of a different standpoint compared to what I normally am able to do when we're shooting outside. And as we take a look around on this Westminster, I will list a partial list of the safety features that are available on this model. There is a link down in the description of the video to the Land Rover of Shreveport website if you want to know more about this exact model, or maybe there's something that I just didn't have time to cover because we don't want to make this an hour-long video. But as you can see, I have this Westminster sitting at its highest ride height, and depending on your situation, well, you might want to adjust that, and I'll show you a couple of different ways how you can take advantage of the air suspension that allows you to easily raise and or lower this Westminster. And for the price range where you find this Westminster, you would definitely expect to have the gas shocks that raise the hood automatically. And I know not everyone's going to raise the hood on their Westminster, but being a car guy and doing a review on this particular model, well, that's kind of important. And what exactly is under the hood? It's the 3-liter turbocharged V6. It puts out 395 horsepower and 406 foot-pounds of torque. The power is then put through an 8-speed automatic transmission and put to the ground through the all-wheel drive system. That's right, this is an all-wheel drive model. And the gas mileage comes in at an estimated 18 miles per gallon in the city and 23 out on the highway. There is what the remote is going to look like that comes with your Land Rover, just so you can see that. And obviously there are multiple functions you can control here. It's quite easy to do. You can turn the headlights on with the button I just pushed right there if you need to, helping to locate the vehicle, or if you just need some lighting for safety purposes. When you lock the interior, the power heated folding side view mirrors will automatically fold in, or when you unlock the vehicle, of course, they're going to fold back out. And you saw it earlier, you have the turn signal indicators built into both side view mirrors. And if you're wondering about the size of those wheels, those are 21-inch wheels. And just a quick look, got the privacy glass back here in the rear, nice and dark. And as I open the rear cargo area, I will put the numbers on the screen for not only cargo space, not only your maximized cargo space, but also towing capacity, because this model does have a towing package on it. And I mentioned the wheels earlier, those 21-inch wheels. You have a full-size spare underneath the floor, but with all these goodies and the boxes and everything on top of the floor, that's going to be a little bit hard for me to lift that one-handed. But I did want to show you something here. You do have a power outlet right here. That's a very nice feature in the event that you need it, and also a 12-volt. And I'm curious to know, what would you rather see, that 12-volt, or would you rather see a USB port, or maybe both? Tell me what you think down in the comments. And here are some more buttons right here. These on the top are for raising and lowering these seats back here. So this is how you're going to maximize your cargo space. And as you can see, I think those seats are already forward, so I'm going to bring them back actually. And it takes a few seconds for it to respond to that. We'll bring those all the way back just so you can see that happen. And I'll show you how to lower that middle area right there. These are 60-40 split rear seats, and the middle seat, or where the armrest is located, actually lowers to create a pass-through. And right beneath those buttons right here is how you control the height of the vehicle from the rear cargo area. And I don't know that you can see the effect of this model lowering. I'm lowering it all the way down to its lowest potential setting as far as the ride height goes. And based on what I showed you earlier, you should be able to see the difference. And as we begin to work our way into the back seat, I'll show you some of the ambient lighting and the location you will have that in here on the armrest, also down here with the door bin. Of course, you can adjust the seats themselves as far as the reclining position. If you want to recline those back, take a little bit of nap if you're one of the rear seat passengers, there's how you're going to do that. Give you a little bit of a look here. As you can see, there is configurable interior lighting, ambient lighting. And like I said, I'll show you how to use the, kind of hard to do that one-handed, but we'll take a look here how to use this pass-through. But of course, here is what you have to begin with your cup holders. You've got some storage right here. And there is, let's see if I can get up here. There is a release right here, just a button you're going to push. And as you can see, that opens up the pass-through if you ever need that. And by the way, that rear cargo cover that is behind these rear seats is removable if you so desire to take it out. And here in the rear also, you've got your air conditioning vents. This is quad zone or 4-zone climate control in the Westminster. So you've got dual zone climate control here in the rear. And also in the front, you're going to have a couple of USB ports down there and more 12-volt power outlets, 2 more of those. And one of the best advantages here, something I really like, is that you have heated and cooled seats not only in the front for the driver and passenger, but also here in the rear. Here on the passenger side, obviously here are the controls for your power seats. You got seat memory, 3 different settings right there. Of course, this is a mirror image to what we have on the driver's side, even though there obviously are a few more accessories on the driver's side compared to what we have here on the passenger side. A little bit better look there at some of the ambient lighting. And let me open the glove box here. We'll open both the upper and lower glove boxes here. You do have a CD and DVD player right here if you want to take advantage of that. And there is the lower glove box, more of the traditional area, but you can use that top area to store a few things if you wish to. Like I said, the driver and passenger side doors in the front, basically a mirror image of one another with the exception of a few additions. Here on the driver's side, of course, you're going to be able to adjust the mirrors. If you want to fold the mirrors in when you're sitting in the vehicle, that's what that button right there is for. Everything pretty simple and self-explanatory. But if you want to adjust the driver's side mirror, you're going to hit the left-hand button at the top and, of course, the right side at the top for the passenger side. Power steering wheel, fully adjustable, tilt and telescopic. And here is just a quick look at the interior. That is one of the things that I really like here, especially the dual screens here in the middle. As we take a look, there is a lot of great functionality here, but if you don't like, let's see if I can find it, if you don't like the angle of the screen, you can change that. So all you have to do is push that plus, you hold it down. You don't have to actually do it like this. I mean, I guess you could. I see a lot of people doing that, but you can just hold it down, as you can see. And just in the interest of fair reporting, let's change the background color so you can see what that looks like. Get back here so you can see both. That's probably going to be a lot better during the day. It is not terribly dark here inside where we're filming today, but I think the darker background looks a little bit better. So we can X out of there. A lot of nice features here, as you can see, just seeing what's on the screen ultimately. Navigation, let's see if we can get that to work. Okay, not gonna be able to get that to work because we don't have an internet connection here. Oh, there we go. So that tells us where we are. Nice view right there, and you can also bring that up on the dashboard right in front of the driver. Makes it so much easier to see. But as you can see, here are all the features that you have. Everything is very easy to use. And down here on the bottom of the center screens, of course, your first option is going to be everything for controlling the air conditioner and where the air is ultimately blowing. And today I am using the heated seats. And so let's see here. Let's push on that. Let's see if we can get it to work. Sometimes it's a little bit slow. If you want to just turn on the heated or cooled seats, we won't leave the cool on for long because it is a little bit chilly outside today. That's one reason I'm filming where I am. But as you can see, you can actually select whether it's the back portion of the seat or the seat itself, if you just want the seat to be warm or if you want the back area to be warm too, the backrest. Whatever you want to use, you can do that on both sides, and I'll just hit that button right there, or that option, maybe I should say. That's not really a button on the screen, I guess, is it? But pretty easy to use. And we'll go back here real fast just so you can see if you need to change the fan speed. Push that one more time. That's probably more me not pushing it hard enough than the fact that it's a little slow to respond, but that's how you're going to change the fan speed. So pretty simple, pretty easy to use. And if you want to change your driving mode, and there are multiple driving modes, this is how you're going to do that. I just push the selection right up here. It looks like the vehicle, and depending on what your situation and or desires are, you have multiple driving modes to choose from. It's very easy to make your selections depending on what your situation is and what you personally want to do. And you have settings right there. And I will put the Westminster in reverse so that you can see the rear view camera. As you can see, probably a little bit harder to see here in the warehouse. And you do have the 360-degree view right here. By the way, if you want to see all of what you have available here, just scroll over. And remember, just the little dots down here at the bottom, that tells you how many different screens you have available. So you see all four down there. You've got 4 different screens here, just in case you're wondering about that. That way it shows you everything you have. As you can see, you've got valet mode, camera, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, and several different features depending on what you want to do, including voice commands that are not only available here on the screen, but of course here on the steering wheel. And when you push that, I'm going to push that real quick just so you can see what's there. There actually is a list that comes up. If you need to see what commands are available, here is a list of potential commands that you can use. It's pretty simple, and I'm not going to go through all of those, but just so that you can see what is there and how easy that is to use. Obviously, you've got push button start right here, and we'll just take a quick look down here at your dial selector for the transmission. So basically this is your shifter right here. And also, if you want to know how to raise and lower the vehicle from the driver's compartment, that's what these 2 options are for right here. So if I want to lower it, I'm just going to hold that down. Pretty simple. Hill descent and your power parking brake. You do have a couple of cup holders there. And right here, something that I personally like quite a bit. It's not on right now because it is a little bit cold to really need this today. Let's see if I can get the button there. When that lights up, you have your refrigerator on, the console refrigerator, 2 different settings. As you can see right there, now it's on low, there it's off. And when both of those blue lights are lit, that means it's on high. But like I said, today that is really not necessary. Just a quick look here at your dashboard. A lot of nice configurations and different features that you can go through depending on what you want to do. All you have to do is use the arrow keys for the appropriate selection depending on your situation. You also have traffic sign recognition, as you can see right here. We'll hop out on the road here for a quick test drive. And I didn't mention it earlier, but hopefully you were able to see it as I was scanning around with the camera during our interior tour. But there is a heads-up display here, and one of the things I really like about this particular heads-up display that you don't have on every single one that I've seen in different models of vehicles that have that feature is that not only do you have traffic sign recognition down here on the dashboard, but also on the left-hand side of the heads-up display. So that's always very nice. And I have to ask a question because I know what I've dealt with concerning the heads-up display. If you're not used to using a heads-up display and you're in a vehicle that has one for one of your first experiences with something like that, do you still find yourself looking down at the dashboard instead of looking at what's right in front of you? Maybe I'm a little bit different where that's concerned, but I know that has definitely been the case for me personally. You do have the combination of the wood trim and the leather wrapped steering wheel here, and so it's very comfortable and very enjoyable to use. paddle shifters as well, so if you want to use those, that option is there. You can turn the shifter all the way to the right. There is an S there for sport mode, which is what I'm driving in, so I've combined that with dynamic. And let me get up here around the corner just a little bit, because we just passed a state trooper back there. That's who was sitting on the side of the road, but now that I'm out of his sights, let's see what happens when I drop the hammer. We'll slow down just a little bit here and see how it does. By far, this is not the most powerful engine you can get. You do have the 5-liter available that puts out 518 horsepower if you want to opt for that. And that is one great thing about the Westminster, is that Land Rover has given a lot of great customizability. Let me see if I can say that without having to reshoot the scene, or reshoot that portion of the scene at least. A lot of customization. There, that's easier to spit out. There's a lot of customization for this model, including different engine options. There are quite a few of those, and depending on what comes into Land Rover of Shreveport, we might get some of those out on the road and try them out. There's a diesel version. There is a hybrid, I believe. And we do have the 3-liter 6-cylinder here, which by no means is shy on the horsepower. It's just 395 horsepower isn't exactly weak, but you do have a fairly large, heavy vehicle, and it's not that it doesn't get up and go. With all-wheel drive, obviously traction is not a problem, and acceleration is not either, but the size of the vehicle and the weight also, well, that contributes to the fact that it maybe doesn't feel like it's as fast as it really is capable of getting up and going. Now, what about handling and the overall ride quality? I read some reviews that talked about how the ride isn't the most comfortable. So take this for what it's worth. It depends on what you're used to driving every day. For me, I don't really notice the ride having a harsh ride quality. The driving experience is actually pretty comfortable for me personally, but again, it goes back to what you're used to driving every day. So one person who might be used to driving something that rides really well every day, they're going to hop into something like this and maybe have a bit of a different opinion about that. That's why it's always important to go out and drive one for yourself if it's something you want to buy, or just maybe you want to see what it's like. With all the different driving aids and different features, safety features, obviously you have just a plethora of things that will help you to stay safe. You've got the blind spot monitoring, all of that stuff, lane keep assist. There's all those great things available there. But as we cruise up here into the corner, what about handling? This is not the sharpest corner on the road here. I am getting a decent amount of body roll going through that corner. But the thing is, if you want something that's going to have great handling, well, this is probably not the Land Rover for you, even though some of that might be determined by how used you are to the steering. Since I don't drive this every day, that obviously could have a little something to do with that, but I noticed a good bit of body roll there. The Range Rover Sport, now that's going to be a whole different experience, and I've done a few of those. We'll do a few more, maybe one in the next few days. We'll see what is available at the dealership. But as we cruise up here into my favorite corner, this will give us a little bit better idea of what the true handling characteristics of this Westminster really are. So I'm going to be as smooth as I can on the steering wheel, and I'm going to accelerate out of the corner. I am still getting a little bit of body roll, not terribly bad, but it is somewhat noticeable. I came out of that corner at 72 miles an hour, went in at 53. So yeah, that'll give you kind of an idea, and I realize most people are not going to do that with their Westminsters, but for the sake of the video, you might as well know what they're capable of doing. Overall, it is a lot of fun to drive. It does have a lot of great technology, great features, and depending on what you want to spend, well, the customizability is definitely way up there as far as what the potentials are. I'm going to cruise up here just a little bit so I can see what's over the hill. There's nobody behind me, and I'm just going to dive onto the brakes. Braking is excellent. And I like the fact that you don't have an overly aggressive brake pedal. Just something to note there, that the brake pedal is a little bit on the soft side, but that doesn't mean that the responsiveness of the brakes themselves is soft. So overall, Yeah, it's a fun vehicle to drive. It's nice. It seems to ride well in my personal opinion. Even during the very first portion of this test drive, we were on the worst road we were going to encounter here, which is definitely a pretty bad road back there. Of course, we're on smoother pavement now. But overall, I have to give high marks here. Although I definitely have to say, if I was going to buy a Westminster, the engine under the hood would be the 5-liter V8. Thanks to my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning me this Westminster for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. As always, guys, tell me down in the comments what you would like to see me feature here on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel, and if it is something I can get my hands on, I will definitely make that happen for you. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.